Have you ever found yourself drawn to the idea that if you could just unpack your past fully, every wound, every moment of being misunderstood, it might free you from the struggles you face today? Maybe it's in relationships where you feel stuck in a cycle of disconnect, or at work where fear of failure holds you back. It's a common belief if we could only get to the root of why we are the way we are, the patterns would disappear. But what if that pursuit itself is part of what keeps us stuck? In this video, you'll learn why diving into the past can sometimes feel helpful, but ultimately leaves you spinning your wheels. How the desire to feel fully understood or validated by others might keep you tethered to old wounds. And what truly allows you to break free from the grip of past patterns and create lasting change. Let's start with why it feels so important to dig into the past. For many people, the idea is that we can't move forward until we fully understand the roots of our pain. Maybe you've experienced this in therapy or in conversations with someone close to you, revisiting moments where you felt unseen, unheard, or mistreated. The process can feel comforting, even illuminating. There's a sense of relief when someone acknowledges this wasn't fair or you didn't deserve that. It can feel like validation, and that validation is powerful. But here's where the trap begins. If you've ever thought, I just need to feel fully seen and heard before I can heal, or if I could finally make sense of this pain, then I'd feel free, you might find yourself on a treadmill that never leads to an exit. Why? Because no matter how much understanding or validation you gain, it doesn't necessarily dissolve the patterns you're hoping to break. The focus stays on what's already happened, leaving little room for the possibilities of today. There's an unintended consequence of putting too much emphasis on fixing the past. Each time you revisit your story, it reinforces an identity rooted in that history. For example, imagine someone who consistently revisits the pain of growing up in a household where love was conditional. They uncover how it shaped their fear of rejection. And while this insight might feel profound, it doesn't necessarily free them from acting out that fear in their current relationships. Instead, they may become more deeply identified with the pain, almost as though it defines who they are. And what about the belief that healing comes from someone else fully understanding or witnessing your pain? It's a seductive idea. If someone gets it, truly gets it, then the wound will close. But here's the reality. No external validation can permanently fill an internal void. Even if someone offers that perfect moment of understanding, it's fleeting. The next time the pattern surfaces, the same need for acknowledgement reappears, and the cycle continues. The more we rely on external understanding, the more we stay locked in the very identity we're trying to transcend. The belief that we need to fix the past is rooted in a misunderstanding. The past isn't broken. It's simply over. It shaped you, yes, but it doesn't have to keep defining you. Imagine carrying a backpack full of old rocks, each one representing a moment where you felt hurt, unseen, or unloved. The more you dig through the bag, examining each rock in detail, the heavier it feels. But here's the thing, you don't need to sort through every rock to lighten the load. You simply need to put the bag down. Freedom doesn't come from dissecting every moment of pain or being fully understood by someone else. It comes from recognizing that the past only holds power when we keep carrying it with us. Here's the profound shift. Instead of trying to fix or fully understand the past, focus on how you engage with life as it unfolds now. When you're no longer preoccupied with the need to reconcile every hurt, you have the space to make different choices in the present. Let's return to the example of someone shaped by conditional love. In the present, they might notice their impulse to withdraw when they feel rejected. Instead of analyzing why that reaction exists, they could start asking, what do I choose to do now? This isn't about dismissing the past, it's about refusing to let it dictate your next step. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't deny the value of understanding. Insights about the past can still arise organically, but they come as a byproduct of living differently today, not as a prerequisite for change. Think about how water flows around a rock in a stream. The rock, the past, is there, unmovable, but the water, the present, can chart a new course around it. Over time, the rock becomes less significant as the water's flow carves a different path. That's the transformative power of shifting focus. When we stop needing the past to make sense or be resolved, we discover the freedom to shape our present. Patterns that once felt unshakable begin to dissolve, not because we've solved them, but because we've outgrown them. So the next time you find yourself tempted to revisit the past in search of answers or validation, ask yourself, am I chasing understanding or am I ready to create something new? The truth is, you don't need to make perfect sense of what happened to move forward. The freedom you seek isn't hidden in your past. It's right here waiting for you to step into it. If this resonates with you and you're ready to explore tools for reshaping your patterns, the Art of Inner Mapping within the Inner Foundation series is an excellent resource. It's designed to help you recognize and shift mental and emotional patterns so you can step into the life you truly